Mimi nataka kuwa mkubwa. Wa jamani, miaka mitatu inabaki. Watu wetu wako ndani ya hema.
In the labyrinth of Kenyan politics, hidden alliances and covert maneuvers often shape the course of Kenya's history.
Kenyans don't want violence. Kenya do not want violence during elections.
Today, we delve into the clandestine meeting that took place in April 2012 at Koisagat Farm, unveiling secrets that led to unforeseen consequences.
Kwanza nataka niseme ya kwamba mimi niliitwa DCI kuanzia asubuhi saa 12. Na nikaulizwa maswali yote niliulizwa, lakini ni maswali ya maajabu.
Hello and welcome to Wueeh TV's documentary of Kenya and her people, the George Saitoti's story. My name is Mtoto wa Mariam. Let me tell you about the secrets of George Saitoti's death and how Uhuru and Ruto duped two billionaires, Wanjigi and Lagat, who financed them.
That this current regime of UHURU Kenyatta is a home they know, it's a home they have visited, it's a home they've eaten with. They've eaten with my family. In fact, their government was formed in this home.
This story has been given and based on Honorable Ole Kamwara's opinions of Kenya's history, how it happened in 2012. The year is 2012 and the month is April. A meeting is taking place at Koisagat Farm in Nandi Hills, owned by silent business mogul in the name of David Lagat. Present in the meeting is Alfred Keter, Oscar Sudi, David Lagat, and a designated private secretary who also happens to be the managing director of Koisagat Tea Factory, Mr. Tanui.
Tunataka kuwaambia leo tunafungua ukurasa mpya katika taifa letu la Kenya.
Two issues are on the table. One, Alfred Keter is pleading with David Lagat to finance William Ruto's ICC trips, cater for the accruing legal bills, and offer to infuse money into the URP's presidential campaigns. On the other hand, Uhuru Kenyatta, the then Deputy Prime Minister, is engaging Jimmy Wanjigi to also finance him. In exchange for their philanthropism, both the David Lagat and Jimmy Wanjigi would be given the tender to construct standard gauge railway. David Lagat was to construct that snaking material from Mombasa to Nairobi because of his convoluted tubular of network, especially at the coast. Jimmy Wanjigi was to take the SGR from Nairobi all the way to Malaba in Busia County. Ask me who David Lagat is, and I will tell you that he is probably among the top 5 richest persons in Kenya. He is, however, not ranked just like Harun Mwau because of his shady business deals and illicit sources of wealth. 2. Oscar Sudi is vying for Kapseret Member of Parliament and does not have money.
I, Oscar Kipchumba Sudi, having been elected a member of National Assembly, do swear in the name of the mighty God that I...
Reason? Please sit pretty and allow me to take you down this lane.
I cannot discuss
unless, I've got all the various facts. I'm sure the Americans at one time or the other, they'll give us the evidence.
These types of investigations do take a very long time. They can take a very long time.
The late Professor George Saitoti is the Minister for Internal Security. He is brought down in a plane crash orchestrated by the aviation officials under duress from the state. George Saitoti was a key in witness protection as of people who would testify against UHURU Kenyatta and his co-accused William Samuel Ruto at Hague. On the other hand, a cobweb of drug barons is casting its net wider in the country. This group, preceded by the two Armenian Artur brothers, Artur Magarian and Artur Sagasian, who were elevated to the positions of deputy police commissioners by State House in the year 2006 to access drugs at GSU training school in Embakasi. The Drug Enforcement Administrations and Interpol are in hot pursuit of key figures in the racket of drugs. George Saitoti, the professor, has his secret list and a comprehensive report of drug barons, and the US government is urging him to name these personalities.
Mr. Speaker, they search you including your body cavity. We have families. I have had an incident where a 13-year-old, my daughter, was engaged into a physical fight with another child because she was told, your father is a drug trafficker.
It is very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that he had to rely on gossip just to tarnish our names.
He fears for his life as he proclaimed in Mombasa, but the US government assures him of its support in case he goes for the presidency in the forthcoming 2012 general elections.
There come a time when the nation is more important than a individual.
A threat to UHURU's presidency is being bred and fed again. Blunder. Saitoti then makes it unequivocally clear that he would table the list in parliament in the following week. That very same weekend, on Sunday 10th June 2012, the lifeless body of George Kenyatta Saitoti was found burnt after being involved in a plane crash in Kibiku area of Ngong Forest, exactly 12 minutes after leaving Wilson Airport on their way to Ndiwa for a fundraiser. At this time, information is leaking to the drug barons whose names are in the list. Oscar Sudi gets wind of his name being amongst those wanted. He initiates processes of stopping the drugs from getting into the country. The drugs remain in waters of Indian Ocean for fear of being nabbed at the port. Suppliers and consumers are on Sudi's neck. He uses all his money to keep the market stable and at the same time wants to rise to power to protect his drug ring.
Nilianzia hapo kokota makaa hiyo mabaki nikauza mpaka nikanua baisikeli. Nikakuja namna hiyo nikatafuta barabara namna hiyo nikakuwa makanga. Ile mtu anaulizanga watu si atu unapeleka watu town wenye anauliza unaenda town.
The problem in here is that he doesn't have money to finance his campaigns. He pleads with Alfred Kiter to take him to David Lagat. That is how he found himself in the famous or infamous Koi Sagat farm meeting. He then gets the funding and becomes a member of parliament. Lagat and Wanjigi are later shortchanged by the digital duo, and Sudi goes full throttle in leading a revolt against William Ruto. Ruto, now a deputy president, has lived with Sudi and knows that he has never stepped into any class past Standard 8. Even that KCSE certificate he is holding is a fake paper.
Sudi hajafikisha kilo. Angoje kidogo, bado kidogo.
Now Ruto starts blackmailing Sudi. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission comes after him, and he is suddenly turned into Ruto's. As we peel back the layers of secrecy, the political landscape reveals the darker side. Oscar Sudi, once seeking power to protect a drug ring, now dances to a different tune. The shadows of Koi Sagat farm continue to cast a long and enigmatic legacy. The story you've witnessed today is a snapshot of Kenya's intricate political tapestry, where alliances are fragile, secrets deadly, and power an elusive mistress. Join us next time as we unravel more mysteries on Wueeh TV's Kenya and Her People documentary. Until next time, my name is Mtoto wa Mariam, and this is Wueeh TV, sauti na kioo kwa jamii.